Welcome back everybody. In this video, we are going to train your statement evaluation skills. So I'm going to give you 3 different statements and you'll have to mentally evaluate them and try to figure out if the entire statement will return true or false. So here are the 3 statements that you'll have to evaluate. So at first they may look very scary and complex, but don't worry, just use what you learned in the previous video and you should be fine. Just take your time and step by step try to figure out what would be the results. Okay, so pause the video, work on these problems, and I'll be back with the solution and explanations. Alright, so let's figure out the first problem. So the very first thing that I notice is that we have got 2 pair of parentheses, and in between them we've got the OR operator. This means that only one of the parentheses statements will have to be true in order for the entire result to be true. Once we've established that, we can now evaluate the first parentheses. So in here we've got a AND operator, so both sides have to be true in order for the statement to return true. 5 modulo 2 equals 1 is true because 2 goes in 5 twice and the remainder is 1. And then 10 greater than 10 is false, which means that this first small statement is false. Let's now move on to the second small statement. So in here we are using the OR operator. So only one side needs to be true. 5 times 5 equals 10 is false because 5 times 5 is equal to 25, but the string hey is equal to the string hey, which makes the entire right parentheses return true. So the left parentheses is false, but the right one is true. And so the result of this first statement is true because we are using the OR operator between the 2 parentheses. Let's now tackle the second problem. So again, the first thing that I would do is to notice that we have got 2 pairs of parentheses, and in between them we have got the AND operator. This tells me that both sides need to be true for the statement to be true. Now that we have figured that out, I'll check what are the results of each parentheses. So in the first one, we are checking if the length of the string hello is greater or equal to 5. This is true because hello has 5 characters, and so it is equal to 5. Then we are checking if the float 3.5f is greater than the float 3.45f, and this is true as well. So in this parentheses, we've got a true and a true again, which makes the entire left parentheses evaluate to true, of course. Now let's have a look at the second pair of parentheses. In here, we are checking if the length of the string dragon is less than 6. This is false because there are 6 characters in the word dragon, and so 6 is not less than 6. Then we are checking if the string A is equal to the string capital A, and this is false also. So inside of these parentheses, we have got false and false, which makes, of course, false. So to recap, the first pair of parentheses were true and the second pair were false, and because we are using the AND operator, this will make the whole statement false. Okay, let's finish off with the last problem. So in this one here, we have got 2 string variables. One that stores the name Bob, and another that stores the color blue. So do you remember, guys, what's the first step that we have to do? The first step is to identify that we have got 2 small statements inside of the bigger statements. These 2 small statements are compared with the OR operator, which means that only one of them needs to be true. Let's have a look at the first one. So in here we are checking if the length of the name variable is greater than the length of the color variable. And this is false because the string Bob has only 3 characters, whereas the string blue has 4. And so 3 is not bigger than 4. Then we're checking if the character of index 0, which remember is actually the first character, of both variables are the same, and this one here is true because both Bob and blue start with the letter B. So in this parentheses, we've got a false and a true, and because we are using the OR operator, then the entire parentheses is true. Now let's be smart. Because we know that we are using the OR operator between the 2 parentheses, then we could actually stop right here and say with confidence that this entire statement will be true because we only need the first parentheses to be true. But let's check out what the second parentheses results to. So we are first checking if the letter of index 2 of the name variable is equal to the letter of index 0 of the color variable. So because indexes in C# start at 0, then we're actually talking about the third letter of Bob, which is B, and the first letter of blue, which is also B. So B is equal to B, of course, and this will return true. Then we're checking if 1 is not equal to 1, and this is false, of course. So we've got a true plus a false, and because we are using the AND operator, this will make the entire parentheses false. But again, we do not care because we already have the first parentheses, which is true. So the result was true. Okay, so to conclude, the results were true, false, and then true again. A huge congratulations if you're able to figure out these problems. And if you didn't, that's okay too, just go back and watch the last video. In the next video, we're going to take the knowledge that we have learned and we will use it to create decisions inside of our codes. You are making really great progress in your journey to becoming a C# game developer. Anyways, that's all for this video and I will see you very soon.